Hi, this is Dee at Aloha Astro. Let's take a look at today's new moon in Cancer. It's occurring on July 9th, 2021 at 9:16 p.m. Eastern Time at 18 degrees and 2 minutes of the cardinal water sign of Cancer. New moon in Cancer, Friday, July 9th, allows you to tune into your emotions and choose to feel joyful or not, as the sensitive water sign moon joins the sun in Cancer, and together they form an emotionally uplifting trine aspect to inspiring Neptune in Pisces, as well as a gloom and doom opposition to intimidating Pluto in Capricorn. Cancer is a nurturing, needs-oriented, and protective sign that rules the fourth house of home, family, and psychological foundations. So whatever house in your own natal chart is being activated today, any of those concerns may arise. However, focusing on the control and direction of your emotions will raise your vibratory rate and give you the best possible outcome in any area of life: family, relationships, career, money, health, etc. With transiting planets in 8 of the 12 zodiac signs, the transits and aspects read like a good news, bad news story. The stress and pressure of a fixed T-square involving demonstrative Mars in Leo, future speculative Saturn in Aquarius, and change-maker Uranus in materially minded Taurus seems to be frustrating and worrying everyone lately, especially those who have natal planets in those signs, as well as those who have placements in Scorpio, which tie into the T-square to complete a grand cross in their chart. Self-aware Chiron in Aries trine to Venus and Mars conjunct in creative and passionate Leo, and sextile to Saturn is giving you the determination, courage, and self-discipline to create a better future, do the thing that will make you happy, and find the people you want to play with and love. Mercury in Gemini quincunx Pluto and trine to Jupiter in Pisces reminds you to police your thoughts and words so that you manifest more of what you want than what you don't want. Examine all your feelings now and accept your light and shadow. Thank the dysfunctional or stunted parts of yourself or your history for the lesson or the protection they provided so you can move forward in personal growth and compassion for others. So let's take a look at what's going on here with the planets up in the sky. And here we see the conjunction at 1802 and the trine here to Neptune, the opposition to Pluto. We also have a sextile here to that planet of change, Uranus in Taurus. And this does also give a slight quickening. It's not a major aspect, but it's encouraging you for the change or wanting something different. So if you do have any internal resistances and attachments to holding on to any of your blockages or limitations or negativity, then this might actually help you see the value or benefit in making a change. And here we can see the Mercury aspects to Jupiter, that benevolent planet of growth, in the very inspiring and spiritual sign of Pisces, as well as the quincunx here to Pluto, which helps you gain greater control over your mind and your thoughts and how you communicate. And we have another minor sextile here between Pluto and Neptune, and I look at this as some added gravy on the side in terms of manifesting with enough determination and enough faith. And if you keep your attention focused upon that which you believe you deserve to receive, then you are more likely to feel this sextile. You have to put it into use and use it deliberately to see the benefits from it. And very interesting right now is this Venus and Mars in Leo. And it's been a while since they've both been chummy together in the same sign. And this is a sign that we play. It rules the fifth house: romance, dating, creativity, children, hobbies, competitive sports, gambling. We create, we play, we have fun, recreation, entertainment, socialization, and warming up to others, enjoying our time spent with others. So do allow that, heart-opening energy there, or the extra little oomph of taking that risk or chance and going after what you want, while it is making a nice sextile to the destiny determining North Node in Gemini. You might actually meet somebody who will change your life for the positive or factor in significantly in your future. If you are bold enough to make a move and say hi or strike up conversation, and it is supporting Chiron in Aries. Also, I would consider doing creative things. If you have grown up and grown old and grown bored and you're taking all your entertainment passively, this may be the time to start actively creating your pleasure and enjoyment by getting up and doing things. Get dirty with some paint, or go out and garden, or go out kayaking, join that bowling league or the gym. Do something. Move the energy. There's a strong emphasis on gaining control of your physicality and wanting to think about where you're going with it in the future. Even if you're young, you can still do things that are going to improve your longevity and your future. And if you are older, this gives you an opportunity to reclaim a little bit of that lost youth, and not just vicariously, but to actually get up, get out of your chair, and get physically active. And for many people, it is the summertime, and it's an excellent time to go out and do that. So go take a hike, or go swim, go play, get together with friends, reconnect with friends, while we have the sign of Aquarius being emphasized, not just future-oriented, but friend and group-oriented, and the Gemini influence, which is very social. It's about your siblings, your neighbors, acquaintances, your community, getting out and conversing with others, sharing your ideas with others, having friends. There's lighthearted, childlike energy with both Gemini and Cancer, and we still have some of that going on here with Mercury. And I'm sorry, I mentioned Cancer, I should have said Leo. And we still have that energy going on here of joyfulness, play, making acquaintances, making friends, being creative, using imagination. And that's where we see, I just like to think of these as angel wings. Here's the shoulder of one wing here with Chiron in Aries, and the shoulder of the other with the North Node in Gemini. And then the tips of the wings would be the Venus and Mars in Leo and Saturn in Aquarius. And what are you creating? Really, it's asking you to create something of your own choosing, rather than sitting still and waiting for something to happen. Get up and move. Get up and move some energy around and play. So we have Mercury about to enter into Cancer, I believe, on the 12th. So you're at your final stretch of Mercury in Gemini. For those of you who have been feeling very uncertain or doubtful, that has been due to a square between transiting Mercury in a mutable air sign and transiting Neptune in a mutable water sign. And a Mercury-Neptune square can feel a lot like Mercury retrograde. And as we recently came out of Mercury retrograde, if you've been waiting for that shadow and to leave and feeling like that Mercury retrograde shadow is still in effect, it's because of that square. And now they are beginning to pull apart as Mercury moves forward. And once Mercury moves into Cancer in a couple of days and falls out of that square with Neptune, the shift from mutable, which can be scattered and all over the place, or looking at all possibilities, into Cancer, which is cardinal and much more defined and gets down to what is desired or needed. You may find that your options become clearer, you know what you want, and you're able to move forward at least with greater inner peace over your decisions. So there's still a little bit of lingering energy, but it is fading in terms of the doubt and indecisions. We have some decisiveness coming up here with this new moon. If you tune into your feelings and determine what is best for you, it will help you in making your decisions and then announcing those decisions to other people or following through on them once we come out of this new moon. So about 2-3 days and you're able to step forward with whatever your new beginning is or whatever you need to say to other people based on what you determine you feel and need to support yourself as you move forward to the future. So let's take a look now at the Sabian symbol. And I read through it a bit before, and it may be a little bit politically incorrect, but then this is also written in a different time period. But let's read through it anyway and see what there is and how it relates and if it resonates for you. So we are in Cancer, 19 degrees because we round up. A priest performing a marriage ceremony. Keynote: the ritualization of productive interpersonal relationships. Well, I can see the idea of ritualization with both the connection the moon and the sun at this new moon are making to Neptune, which wants to make something rare or special or holy in some way to give it a spiritual elevation, and Pluto in Capricorn, which wants to take things very seriously or follow the letter of the law or make something that's going to be very solid and enduring. So this scene symbolizes the profound need for referring the interplay and the relatively permanent and productive union of all polarities to some third factor which either includes or transcends and gives spiritual meaning to the relationship. A conjugal union is essentially and traditionally the union of a man and a woman for the sake of producing progeny able to perpetuate the racial type, the family tradition, and the way of life of a particular culture or subculture, including a set of religious beliefs. The married couple is the basic productive unit in our society, as it has been for millennia in all patriarchal societies. Interestingly, I believe astrologically we're looking at the end of patriarchy. So some of this may, be subject to change, and we do have currently, patriarchal Saturn in Aquarius, so things are changing. The purpose of any established religion, including tribal cults, is to glorify, sanction, and bless with a superpersonal meaning all personal and interpersonal activities. This occurs through the sacraments and indeed through most religious rites. At this fourth stage of the fivefold sequence, we are given the basic technique used in all processes of effectual social or group integration. It is the technique which takes the form of socio-cultural and thus business or religious ritualization. Through this technique, commonplace individual endeavors acquire sanction. That is, they are ritualized and indeed sanctified. Well, we do indeed have the idea of, on the emotional level, what we are choosing to make real and what we are choosing to elevate in our feelings and emotions and where we place our attention. So some of this does indeed make sense to me, but I can also argue on some of these things. And, the planets continue to transit, move, and they change society as a whole, especially the outer planets, as they bring some radical changes over time and shifts in society's consciousness. And it would be interesting to perhaps revisit all the symbols at some point in time, or look toward a creation of new Sabian symbols and see what comes through. Perhaps an intuitive and an astrologer working together, as was the original source of the Sabian symbols. because society does move forward and change. And anyhow, that's it and my thoughts around this new moon. Do be aware also that we're coming out of a solar flare, or July 3rd, that was a very large one, and that can affect people emotionally and physically, and that there are many places in the world right now that are under a lot of duress. And I do believe that sometimes we go through time periods of extreme duress to figure out what needs healing, what needs fixing, what needs to change. Because if everything were always easy and smooth and life were too complacent, then there would be no forward growth or betterment of our individual lives or the collective society as a whole. So I will see you again at the next lunation when we get to a full moon, which I believe will be coming up in Capricorn. And until then, enjoy today. Take time to be quiet, be at peace, pay attention to your feelings, and your feelings are valid.